Good morning, good morning, good morning, and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2020, into 2020 vision. You see it everywhere. Everybody's talking about 2020 vision. And this morning, what I'm going to talk about is part of 2020 vision, but barriers and how we primarily are our own barriers, because we should go into every thought or everything that we do with the thought process. If this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. The good with the bad. And so that's what I'm going to talk about this morning. I hope everybody enjoyed their New Year's Eve, was safe, and made it home okay. I am Letitia Cunningham. I am a life coach, and I am really into law of attraction, because we control and attract our own life, the desires, the needs, the wants. And so I am going to talk about this morning the barriers that we have. When we have a goal, are we focused more on where we're going or what we're getting away from? Because that plays a big part in how we accomplish the goal that we're trying to achieve. When I particularly put a goal in mind, most times before, I would focus on what I was trying to get away from. And I think that's what most of us do. We focus on what we're trying to get away from. But what we need to be focused more on is what we're trying to get to. What we're getting from, 9 times out of 10, is something that we don't like. And it is not necessarily a physical pain, but it is a pain there that can be stressful, depressing, overwhelming. And so we focus on what we want to get away from because we don't want this feeling anymore. But what we should be focused on is what we're going to. If I achieve this goal, when I achieve this goal, I will have this, that, and a third. And it's not necessarily material things. I will have peace. I will have comfort. I will be able to relax, things of that nature. So that's what we're focusing on today. And of course, again, back to women of the Bible, they all had the same things that we're going through today. I can't stress that enough. There's never something that we're going through now that we can't reference back and say, wow, like, whoa, this is thousands of years later, and everything is going to reoccur. We're going to keep going through the same things that other people went through. And there's so many stories that we can reference to. But us as women, I know that most times we take on everybody else's stuff. We take on issues from everybody else. I had recently had somebody tell me, you're doing too much. And I almost let that be a barrier for me, because I almost listened to that person. I slowed down. Sorry, I'm getting my coffee cup together. I slowed down on a couple of things that I was doing. Now, I know that we can do whatever God puts on us, the desires that He gives us. He doesn't give us a desire for us to keep it complacent. And I'm not saying that's everything that He gives you should run out and do it. What I'm saying is everybody has their own lane. So when you find yours, get there and enjoy the ride. So I almost let that person dim my light, and it was not a conscious thing that she did. So we have to be cognizant of that. We have to be cognizant of incompetence consciousness, because some people are unconscious of their incompetence. So if I don't know, if for instance, if your daughter see you driving, she's 4 years old, she sees you driving all the time, she's watching shows where people are driving, so in her mind it's easy, she can drive and she wants to drive. That's unconscious incompetence. She doesn't know the reasons why she can't drive yet. So some people don't know the reasons why um, I can do what I do because it's not for them to do. So it's unconscious incompetence. They don't know how I do what I do. They don't know how you do what you do. If you work and you manage your home and you manage your business, or you write a book, or you do yoga, whatever it is that you do, they don't understand how you do it. So it's unconscious incompetence, and they're not meaning to try to dim your light. They just don't know how you do it. And so to them, you should not do that. You should, yeah, that's too much. You shouldn't do it. But now, if somebody else, on the other hand, if they ran a business, they work a job, they have the children, and then they tell you that you should not do something, that's a different story. That's somebody trying to put a block in your road, trying to dim your light. And sometimes we have those people who don't want to see us grow. It's just like, to them, why are you trying to do so much? Why are you trying to be on my level? Why are you trying to leave me? Some people don't want you to leave them where they are. Why are you trying to leave me? So we have all these barriers around us, and even though there are all those barriers around us, it's truly up to us to say if we're going to allow that to be a barrier, or if we're going to keep pushing. So any barrier that comes your way is really not, we have to take accountability. It's really not somebody else. It's us. It's us. It's how we determine it. It's how we factor. It's how we move along. So I never, and like I said, almost dimmed my light, almost. And then I came home and I was like, you know what? I've been doing these things. They give me joy. They give me peace. Um, and I'm succeeding. I might be succeeding in baby steps because I'm a perfectionist and I want everything to be right, but I am succeeding. And so as long as I'm moving forward, that's okay. I'm not moving backwards. That's fine. So the woman in the Bible that this relates to is Hannah. And I went to Hannah because what do you do when God says no? So we have these barriers from people, but sometimes it's bigger and it's God. And so are you in tune? Do you hear enough? Do you have that relationship? Do you speak? And whoever your God is, it's the universe. Do you manifest? Do you speak life over yourself? What do you do so you can be in tune to hear that clearly? Because when that no comes, you need to be able to understand, accept it, and move on. It's not for us to keep pushing, to say why, because whenever that no comes, that means there's something else. There's a bigger blessing. So it's all on how we handle it, on how we're spending time. Do you meditate? Do you write? Do you pray? What do you do so that when that no comes, you can hear it? Because that's when we get hurt. We want to avoid the hurt. We want to avoid the pain, whether it's a relationship with your children, work, being an entrepreneur, whatever it is. We want to hear that no clear and understand this is not my lane. It's time for me to move on. I'm going to go ahead and make that happen. I'm going to pull out my little book and I showed you guys this book a couple weeks ago. I know I haven't been here since Christmas, but again, this is my book. And it's my gratitude book. So when I start in this book, I start by saying I have gratitude for my multiple businesses, and I see my children in these places. Like, I'm very detailed in this book of what I see, because again, believe it, write it, see it, it comes to. You're speaking to the universe, you're speaking to your God, you're putting things into place with yourself. I do a lot, and I do a lot because again, I have my goal. I have, my goals, my vision board and stuff like that. And so I have a 2-year goal to retire from corporate America. I have 3 businesses that I am two are going. One that I am really pushing right now in my shirt. This is my logo. This is me, Entrepreneur Her, because I am a multi-business owner, and we all have our desires. Now, your desire could be to VP in corporate America, and that's great. Like, we need women in those positions in corporate America because men shut us down like that. But the mind of a woman is a wonderful thing. We are completely in the game everywhere. We are in the game everywhere. We are in the game in corporate America, and we are in the game in entrepreneurship. You see more women becoming entrepreneurs now than you ever have before, and because this is our time. So what we need to do is hone in on us, because when we're out there in that world, we are the minority. And if you're Black, Latina, anything but Caucasian, you are the double minority. So we have to push harder. We have to be very cognizant of our body language, because 9 times out of 10, our face is going to tell on us. So whether we say a word or not, this is going to give it away. And so we have to be aware of all of that. I recently heard a story where a woman said to another woman, who they were both lawyers, do you think that you should be wearing pantsuits in the courtroom? You should probably wear a skirt. It's more ladylike. You would probably win more cases. And my first thought was, why are you knocking her as a woman? Why are you trying to bring her down as a woman? She's striving, she's winning her cases dressed as she is. And why do we have to dress any particular way to succeed, to be, because our brains have already given us what we need. So why do I have to dress this way to please somebody else in order to do my job? As long as I am in attire, in hers, a pantsuit, then that's fine. So why, as women, number one, do we do this to other women? That was an outside barrier coming in. But my friend is strong enough in herself and said, I'm winning my cases how I am, and this is who I am, and this is how I'm going to dress. And that was all she needed to do, and kept it pushing and won her case. So I'm just saying, for us as women, that was an incompetence, unconscious incompetence. That's what that was, from one woman to another. We have to be very aware of the things that we do and what we know. I might not know what you do. And so who am I to say, unless you've come to me and given me your truth? I can't coach you one way or another on how to do something, how to live, how to be. I can't. And so I would be giving you ill information that may hurt you more than help you. So before we as women open our mouths and speak on another woman, we should probably understand more of their situation. We should understand definitely more of their situation, because we do have many, many women speaking on other women's situation when we don't know the full story. We don't know all the details. You see it on social media all the time. All the time I see, if that was my child, I would do this. Or they're too busy being a friend and a parent. You don't know what's going on in that home. You don't know what this mother has been through with her child. People don't know. You don't know what they've been through in their relationships. Oh, I would have left him this. I would have did that. You don't know. You don't know what they're going through on their jobs. People can't say. So unless you know the full details, don't speak on somebody else's story, and don't tell somebody else what you would do, because that's going to dim their light just a little bit, if not a lot. And instead of dimming their light, we should be giving it a fire. We should be giving it a fire to keep going, keep going, keep going, pushing. We should have accountability partners. We should have sister circles, and we should have each other's backs. There's nothing like having a sister circle, a friend who you can truly talk to without judgment. And I say, like, truly, I have so many women that talk to me And I don't mind it, not one bit. I don't mind it. I truly actually appreciate. It's a great compliment to me. Two of my greatest compliments that I receive to me are, one, if somebody asks me to pray for them, that is absolutely hands down the best compliment you can give me. And the second is somebody confiding in me, because that tells me that they know who I am, and they know that the trust is there, and I won't steer them wrong. If I don't know, I don't know. But what they do know is when they leave it here, it doesn't go out there. I'm not going to judge them. I am not going to bash them. I am not going to share their information with anybody else. I am going to console, love, lift up, and support them 100%. So the people that are in my circle, and some people that are not, some people that follow me on social media, I will get a DM, I will get a inbox and say, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it might not be much, but it's just enough to say, I need this right now, and I'm not sure, or I'm going through this right now. Can you pray? And that's it. That's all it takes. But in that moment, they know, if even if they have their own sister circle, and sometimes when you have a sister circle, say it's 4 or 5 of you, and you share information with this one because you might feel a little closer to this one, and you're not ready for everybody else to hear it yet. And this one goes back and tells that one, and she tells this one and this one, and then everybody in the circle knows, which is not, it's a big deal, but it's not detrimental. And it's a big deal because that person wasn't ready to tell everybody in the circle. She told you for a reason, in confidence, you first. And so those people come to me still because they're not ready for everybody in their circle to know, and I'm not in their circle, so I'm not going to tell anybody in their circle, and they don't have to worry about it getting out to anybody else. They just needed to get it out. Sometimes we just need to get it out. We don't want to hear anything back. We just need to say it, and sometimes just saying it aloud will give you the aha. Like, oh, I knew that. I just needed to say it. And then once we say it, the light comes on. It's just a matter of talking it through. And so when you have somebody to talk things through with, without judgment or bashing or that look on the face, 9 times out of 10 we solve our own problems. It's just a matter of having that person to go to. And like I said before previously, I don't really have a sister circle. I had a baby at 14. And so that was like, bam, automatically adulthood. You have to start working and try school. And so that was a complete disaster. But anyway, that didn't allow me to have time to build bonds with women growing up, because that's where your sister circle starts. Your sister circle doesn't start as an adult. It starts when you're about 15, 16, because you start meeting your friends in high school and y'all click up and y'all become great friends. And then even if you go off to different colleges, then you meet women there and you introduce them to your high school girls. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. But then you have 2 sister circles. You have your high school girls, which these are my jam. And then you have your college girls where they know more of that adult you. But all of them are your sister circle. So I missed that phase of life, and I'm completely okay with it, because that means that this is where God had me to be, and that's fine with me. So when I need to do that, I write like nobody's business. I read. I have to, because I still have to get it out. Recently, I think it was October or early November, I hold it in so much and write. But sometimes we still need that person to talk to. I have 2 older sisters, and so I left work and I went to her house and I just let it flow and I let it out, and it was amazing to have that. But at the same time, sometimes family is not that, it's not that joint that you need Sometimes you need it from your sister circle. And so I don't have primarily a sister circle. Like I said, it's fine. So I do a lot of writing, I do a lot of reading, I do a lot of praying, I do a lot of crying. Crying is soul cleaning. Crying is soul cleaning. It's okay. We should cry. But what I want us to do now and get out of this is definitely to pay attention to our barriers that we allow, because we allow them. Tune in to the voice of the universe, of God, write, manifest, do your law of attraction. Today is the first day of the 21-day challenge of the law of attraction. If you are on Facebook or follow me on Facebook, I have a group giving you the best you. Law of attraction is the group that I have. If you want to talk, inbox me, message me, and I will get back to you. But tune into that voice so we can hear it. When you know that voice and that voice tells you no, you won't be disappointed. We could be, and we never get used to disappointment. So we can only disappoint ourselves if we expect something of others or something that we want and we're not listening. That's when we can get disappointed. But if you know that voice and that voice tells you no, you should know better that it's a good reason why you're being told no at that moment. So what I'm saying is through Hannah's situation, it teaches us what to do when our desires do not materialize. Shows us how to handle that no, not yet, or not yet. You live with disappointments on a daily basis, and emphasize the value of prayer, of speaking to the universe. I cannot emphasize enough the speaking to the universe and understanding that voice, because spending that time will keep us from those disappointments that we should not have, that we set ourselves up for in any genre, with any group of people, in any situation we set ourselves up for. So I want us to focus on those barriers of where the goals we're going to. Are we running away from something or to something? And I recently, because I have so many goals on my plate now, I recently had to write down my goals again, and I wrote them down in a fashion of, when I succeed and I achieve this goal, I will have more peace, more freedom of time, and of course be more financially stable. Now that's what I will get from it. What will it take away? It will take away some stress. It will take away punching a time clock. So it will take away debt. So those are my running to and running away from. Which one do I want more? Which one is going to give me a better feeling? And what's going to happen if I do not? So if I do not achieve my goal, what is that going to look like in a year, in a week, in 5 years? What position would that put me in? Because peace of mind is a big deal for me. So if I don't achieve my goals, my peace of mind is going to be exactly where it is today. And I am very, very comfortable and peaceful and at ease doing the things that I love to do. Now, I like the company that I work for. My job is not a hard one. I am just at a position in life where that's not where I want to be anymore. So my goal is to retire in 2 years. So when I have to go there, I physically, mentally get irritated. It irritates me. It irritates my soul, because that's not where I want to be anymore. So I have to work on that, because if I stay there another 5 years, I'm going to physically be sick. If it's irritating irritating me this much now, in 5 years, I am going to be physically sick or mentally. Something is going to happen. So that means I have to push for my goal and understand your body enough to know that when something's bothering you so much, where the shift comes. Know when your shift comes, because it's going to come and you have to understand what it is. I can't go in there and get angry with people because I have a shift. I still have to do my job. I can't take it out on anybody there. This is my shift. This is my journey. What you have to do is know when your shift comes, how to change it, what needs to be done, and execute it. That's what has to be done. So this is what I want us to do this week. Won't see you again for 5 days, maybe not. I might surprise us. But this is what I want us to do for this week. Understand our barriers and know where they come from. How do we let other people apply barriers on us? Unconscious incompetence. Pay attention to it. If they don't know what they're talking about in your life, then you know what it is. It's either that they want you to stay there with them or they don't want you to do better than them. It's one of the two. So pay attention to the unconscious incompetence and let me know how that works for you. I am going to drop my Facebook on this post. I've been trying to do this. I am fairly new. Had my YouTube channel for some years, but new to loading my videos. I am enjoying learning the process, but today, by God, I am going to get it. I am going to drop my Facebook information there because I want y'all to share with me how things work for you. I want to know. I want to see the growth, and I want us to grow together. So I am going to get this today, and tell me how you move with the unconscious incompetent barriers, and how do you know which one is what, if they don't want you to get better than them or if they want you to stay with them, because those that want you to stay with them, that's unconscious incompetence. They don't know any better. They just love you. They just want you with them. And then the conscious incompetence is, she getting close. I need her to stay back over there. I don't want her over here with me. I love y'all. This is Letitia Cunningham, the life coach, and I am going to drop my Facebook here. It's Keisha Speaks. The group is Giving Yourself the Best You, Law of Attraction. Have a great new year, 2020 vision.